What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Charles, owner of mXrevival and mXrevival.com, and unless you've been living under a rock, you already know we are smack dab in the middle of building you a badass 2023 Gas MC500 two-stroke. Now when you guys get yourselves entered to win this big bad bastard or the 10 grand cash, you're also automatically entering yourselves into every YouTube episode's MX Parts giveaways. As always, we'll be doing another one of those MX Parts giveaways today, and we're actually going to start the video off pretty much right out of the gate with an MX Parts giveaway, because for the next hour or so, you're going to be fully immersed in a complete MC250 engine teardown at Elite Moto Factory with my boy Uncle Tony. Basically, we need to rip the MC250, the original engine, apart, get inside of it, find out what's good for reusing, what's bad, if anything needs replacing. Reason being, the BRC Racing 500cc engine we're going to stuff into this frame for you uses some of the old parts from the original bike, like the transmission for example, and we'll get into that in today's video as well. So before we jump into that engine teardown and into that giveaway real quick, let's go ahead and talk about what I've done since episode 2 when you last saw me. And then I've got a little sneak peek for you regarding episode 4 right here, this killer red frame. Thanks to Dean at Fast Blast and Coat. Looks amazing. Can't wait to do the deep dive. That won't be today, but I'm going to show you a little sneak peek. But I did already get the chance to run over to Fast Blast and Coat, see Dean, watch this thing actually get sprayed. So I'll be showing you guys that in episode 4, just like last YZ500 build when we went down to Fast Blast and Coat and saw how this was done. So if you missed it, you're in for a treat. And guys, check out this cylinder. I have got a lot of your parts up to an absolute jewelry store finish. Absolutely love our in-house vapor blaster. I put it to good use on these builds for you guys. I've also done the radiators, some of the linkage, some of the foot controls. I still need to do the old dirty swing arm. As you can see, this thing's still looking a little tired, so I'm pretty sure I can get this up to the same type of shine I've been able to achieve on everything else, which if you could just imagine this going back into the frame, it's going to look nuts. So now that you guys are all caught up and you got the sneak peek, it's time to jump into that giveaway for today. And real quick, huge congrats to episode 1's winner, Benjamin Reedy. You scored the DecalWorks graphics kit. I've also reached out to you via email, and so has DecalWorks, but we haven't heard from you yet, so get your ass on that. Episode 2, Jim Tranmer. Dude, thank you so much for watching every Saturday. Stoked to see you bring something home. Jim actually won Fast Blast and Coat's complete frame coating, or a set of covers, or a set of brakes, whatever you wanted to do. So props to you, Jim. As you can see, Jim is probably going to be pretty stoked with what he gets back from Dean at Fast Blast. Now, today's episode, very cool. I'm going to have 4 MX Parts winners, so a lot of you guys are going to score stuff in this episode. 2 of my lucky winners are going to win via comment giveaway, so we're going to do one of those, and then the second 2 items or winners are going to be for people who have already entered to win the MC500 build. So first up, for our comment giveaway, we have some really cool parts from my new friends at WUSA. W sent me some hats, some rim lock dress kits, some tire irons, some beanies, some really cool stuff for your wheels. So for our comment giveaway today, we're going to kick it off with 1 W hat and 1 of these sets of W rim lock dress kits. Very cool anodized parts. Super stoked to have you guys on board. Thank you for your support. Looking forward to showing everyone on YouTube more of what's to come with WUSA. So if you guys would like to win one of WUSA's rim lock dress kits or one of these sick hats, which I will be keeping, I just want you to let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite part of the upcoming engine teardown in this video? It can literally be anything, doesn't matter. I'll pick my favorite comment next week. It could even be something about Tony and I's stupid sense of humor, which isn't for everyone. Now for my next 2 winners in today's MX Parts giveaway, I'm going to be giving away something pretty rad that I've never actually even seen before. So this is going to be for guys and girls who have already entered to win the MC500. This is not a comment giveaway. So my guys at Dirt Tricks are handling all the brakes and drive on this build, which look insane. Cannot wait to highlight those in a future episode once we get those killer W wheels. But they've also sent me a few of these chain wear guides. Now, like I said, I've never seen one of these before. This is super cool. I wouldn't really know how to tell if my chain was worn out if it wasn't for just the sprockets looking shark-toothed out and totally destroyed, but this is a way to find out without waiting that long. So very cool product. This is a chain wear guide. You basically lay it onto your chain and it will tell you if your chain is stretched and in need of replacement, or if it's new, or somewhere in between. So if the pointer here, which I'm probably butchering, falls in between 2 of your roller pins, chain's good. If it falls on top of one of your roller pins, your chain's bad. Time to replace it. So I actually have 5 of these to give away during this contest. 2 of them will be today, so best of luck to all 4 future winners. So as you guys know, or you're about to find out, these MX bike build and giveaways with all these parts and products we give away are packed to the gills with awesome stuff. Having said that, I'd like to welcome Motool to the build team. They are the creators of the digital sag scale called the Slacker. I'll have some of these to give away for you guys in a future video, as well as showing you how to use it. And we have 1 new build team member. Maybe some of you guys have heard of him, but this company is called Stuck Nuts. And even though I could make so many perverted jokes right now, I'm not going to. Sean, thank you for throwing some products our way. I also have some Stuck Nuts to give away to you guys, which I could also make a joke about. Basically, Stuck Nuts is a thread locker. And since KTM, Gas, Husqvarna are basically slathered in thread locker from the factory, this is gonna work out quite well. So guys, don't miss out on any of these giveaways. Go ahead and get your asses entered on mxrevival.com. Now, we're gonna head over to Elite Moto Factory, catch up with Uncle Tony, and gut your old MC250 engine. Let's roll. All right, we are back in Uncle Tony's underground lair. What's new, man? Thanks for having me.
Well, aside from your dick joke you just cracked, nothing much.
It should be expected.
Yep. Welcome to the party, guys.
Yeah, welcome back. This is round 3, technically.
Yeah.
We did a breakdown on the YZ, and then a rebuild of the YZ.
Wheels, right?
Yeah, and on that note, yeah, we did wheels too. What do we have in your fabulous shop today?
Well, we have your new giveaway bike.
Our
giveaway bike, the Hellfire. MC500. Coming out of that hog right there.
Yeah. What do you think of the name Hellfire? You like that, or was it done something else?
No, dude, I think anything with hell in it's cool.
The hella cool.
I'm from Minnesota, so I can't really claim all that, but
that's all right.
I can adopt it every once in a while.
It's a part of me from the Bay Area.
NorCal,
right?
baby. Yep.
Yeah. So what are we doing with this thing? We're gonna rip the guts out of it today in spec condition, and this is the MC250 2023 engine.
I mean, that thing is. I mean, the countershaft sprocket doesn't have hardly any wear on it, so
yeah.
I have a feeling we're not going to be dealing with anything like we were dealing with on that YZ.
No mustard bolts? Is that what you're saying? You should probably have some still.
Somewhere back here in the pile.
If you guys missed the YZ M500 build on Annihilator, that YZ250 donor engine had literal mustard bolts in it.
And then we saved this stuff right here. We had to cut the crush washers off.
Oh yeah, the crush washers on the head were off of a YZ80 or something.
I think they, I don't even know.
Yeah, who knows what. Oh, this is the wall of shame, by the way.
Little souvenir here.
Yeah, very cool.
Little souvenir.
Yeah, this bike, bro, I think it had a set of Maxxis tires on it, which were...
Those are stock.
I don't know. I'm
pretty sure.
So if those were stock, then it has under 20 hours. If they weren't stock, then it has just over 20 hours.
Yeah.
You know, by looking at the wear and stuff.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I brought you a clean engine.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing, actually.
Yeah. So today we're going to break this down. We're going to look at the parts inside. We're going to determine whether or not we need to replace any transmission components, mainly. Probably not, but you never know.
I think we're going to be pretty dialed. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, overall, I mean, it's still pretty much a new bike. So what do you think about the 500 version, the MC500 we'll call it, having an electric start on a bike that was a kicker?
I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, just having... You know, we haven't decided yet if we want to keep the kickstart on there yet or not.
Correct.
And just maybe plug it off and just run e-start.
Should we let the people vote in the comments below?
Yeah, I think they should take a vote. I kind of feel like we should keep the kickstart on there.
Yeah, just as a backup.
Just in case.
You never know. Yeah, so you guys tell us in the comments.
Depends on who wins it. Someone might convert it into a woods bike.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
They would like to have that option.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. They could convert it from motocross.
And battery issues, it doesn't take much, right? So
yeah, for sure. And I guess, you know what? You can still e-start your bike with a Recluse. I'm thinking of bump starting.
You
can't bump start with a Recluse, right?
You can. You just got to back the slave cylinder out.
Okay.
The adjustable slave cylinder out.
Something you might not want to do on the trail.
No.
Okay.
Well, if you in a pinch, you just have to carry a 4mm Allen wrench with you.
Okay.
So you can back the slave cylinder out, then you can actually throw it in second or third gear and bump it down a hill.
These are painfully motocross guy questions, aren't they?
They are. I've learned through the woods customers that that's how you got to do it.
Well, that was actually a little bit of a spoiler because our boys over at Recluse are going to be stuffing something incredible into your 500 version of this engine when it's built. So I'm looking forward to showcasing that. But you guys can let us know in the comments below if you want an e-start and a kicker, or a kicker delete with an e-start only on your MC500. I think that'll just be kind of fun for
take a vote
engagement.
Let
anyways.
the people get involved. This is their motorcycle.
Yeah, it is yours after all.
We're just working on it.
Don't get us wrong. We'd love to keep it, but this is about you guys. So, where do you like to start when you're doing a tear down on something so clean and pretty that doesn't have mustard bolts in it?
Just start ripping shit apart.
Yeah, that's right. Beep, beep. There'll be some beeps in here, I'm sure.
Just for dramatic effect, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, there goes all of our sponsors. They're still with us.
okay.
If they've made it with me this far,
Yeah.
as my personalities come out more and more, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, well, they're gonna see more of that too.
Yeah. What do you think? You start with the head, you rip the jug off, and then work your way down, obviously. And
Yeah, typically, I mean, we'll probably start ripping side covers off. I like to keep the cylinder on for quite some time until I'm ready to split, just because I don't want the piston
okay,
banging
you just
around in
slap
there.
it
We can
around.
there's so many different ways to do it.
Right.
But we're not using any of that.
No, this is
So-
going to be just a empty shell when we're done.
I would like to probably just leave the piston connected to the crank, so we don't have to sacrifice any pin
For sure.
clips. And then somebody wants to buy a good complete crank and piston.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. All this stuff is probably going to be on the move eventually. I got to figure
Yeah.
that out. Yeah, you guys know where the contact link is on the website.
So there will be some good donor recycle parts, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll just crack into this thing
All right.
and
I'm
start
here to capture it all with
start
Tony
seeing-
at Elite Moto Factory.
seeing what we got to deal with.
What are we dealing?
So I need my apron, Chuck.
Yeah. Throw that bad boy on. The chef. Chef's in the house.
The chef. I'm gonna be cooking up some.
What?
Wait,
You got the Walter
I
White?
don't know how to cook, guys. I'm just making a joke.
You can tell that's true because you have way too
I
many
have
teeth.
all my teeth.
Yeah, way too many teeth. So that means none of these tools are stolen either.
Nope,
I guess.
nope, all paid for.
All right, we're already coming off the rails. This time it's you. You're talking about the hard stuff, and I haven't even let loose
Yeah,
yet.
what's up,
Yeah.
Charles? Where you at?
See what I've done to this man? Yep, that's how it goes.
Where you at, buddy?
Where you at?
Leave me hanging.
Oh, it's hanging. How's that? Too soon?
Buddy, you start right away in the morning. It's never too soon.
True.
Never
Always
too soon.
caffeinated.
By
It's a
now,
lovely
Charles.
looking array of tools you got there, all ready to go for the day.
Oh, this is kind of a hodgepodge right now, but
Yeah, well, you're kind of doing a little reorganizing in here, huh?
keep them out, do the work, set them out. Then my kids come over and
Throw them on the ground.
Daddy, take that.
So what are you doing right now with these trays? I saw you throw a bunch of different trays out over here on the counter.
Oh, I'm just organizing. I don't have a lot of shelf space right now, and my engine cart's got a dilapidated
She's busted. You got a hoopty?
KX500 on there, so I didn't have enough space, so I have to compromise.
Do you have like a specific things you're going to go specific places on here?
Yep, I'm gonna use my smaller trays for, I guess, the smaller parts of the engine that I'm gonna break down.
That actually makes sense.
I don't know how to take this, Charles. So
It wasn't a perverted joke, but we could
okay.
make it.
Well, I mean, never mind. I'm
Yeah.
just fishing
Anyway.
on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So top end, ignition stuff will go on the two small trays I have, and then the clutch side, and the cases will go on another one.
Okay, cool.
Should be able to cover it with all four of these bad boys. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I want to just capture some of your meticulous organization for people, and I think they really enjoy it. The last YZM series, man, people want more Uncle Tony. So
Uncle Tony. You're Uncle Charles now.
yeah, somehow I became
Uncle Charles.
Yeah,
I'm Uncle Tony.
makes sense.
You're Uncle Charles. I don't know how to feel about this.
Hot mic.
Hot mic. Here we go. First bolt coming out. Well,
Busted.
Charles already did that one, so
That's true. Uncle Tony bolt, first bolt.
there we go. Take that.
So you guys see this big old lobe here. If you're not familiar with what Riley at BRC Racing has done, he has created an engine, a 500cc monster of an engine that also has counterbalancer in it. A lot of you guys know that already, but if you're new, one of the cool things about this engine that Tony will be building is that it is counterbalanced and it is exhaust valve equipped. Unlike, say, CR500 back in the day. You'll see more. We don't have the cases here and the cylinder to sort of illustrate that better for you guys because they are over at Fast Blast and Coat with Dino getting the Cerakote treatment. And anyways, you'll see similarly what's in here. But the function basically, and again, a lot of you guys know that or know this. When the engine's running, this balance shaft cancels out a lot of vibration. So really cool feature on 17 and up KTM Husky and gas that Riley engineered into his 500 engines. This is Tony's mobile detailing.
Just trying to get some of the dust off. My airline's way over there, and I don't want to grab it, so Just gonna give it a wipe. Give it a wipe.
You'll be hitting windshields at the gas station with that thing.
Baby, $1, you got this. I'll clean you up.
Pretty much, would you say spotless? Not totally spotless, but what you got down there?
Well, there's some dirt.
A little bit of dirt? No, it's normal
dirt.
stuff.
Stuff.
Things.
Things and stuff.
Yeah. Freaking clean.
There's a valve, like a little bleed hole in the back there.
Yeah, to like let stuff drain
Let
out.
water come out of it if it's got water in it.
All the two-strokes have that, right?
Yeah. In some sort of a drain, or like in the cover, they have a relief cut. So water can get on,
Stuff
like,
can
get
weep.
out. Yeah.
What were you just saying about the shifter? I didn't catch that.
So, no, Mike. Okay. Just to make sure that we have our height situated when we go to build it on the new engine. Put it on the new engine.
Yeah.
So I'll take the bolt out, and then I'll take an automatic center punch, and I'll mark the shifter, and I'll mark the shift shaft, so then I know where to line those 2 pin punches up when it comes time to build it. And the same on the Kickstarter.
Got it. At
So every
first
time-
I was thinking, oh, I'll just use my boot, right? And we'll figure it
Yeah.
out. But you're talking about going a step further with the shift shaft inside because we're reusing it.
Yes, sir.
Genius.
Okay.
How should look? Oh, that's right. I forget you like to smell everything.
Smell it.
Tony's smell
My senses
test.
are still working, so
Yeah.
I'm
What
gonna
do you think?
use them. Yeah, it looks
Pretty standard stuff.
ground. Oh, this is nice, Charles.
We're working on a
Working
engine
on
that's
this
not a
bike.
dilapidated piece of crap.
You know, dilapidated. There's a time and a place for dilapidated.
Yeah, for sure. Good content at least, right?
Yeah. But when it comes to probably, you know, I don't even know how many people were in that engine, but
It was the Village Bicycle for sure.
probably half dozen.
Yeah.
You know, in its lifetime. That thing was gross.
Yeah, it was really gross. So this is just going from good to better, right? Something clean and nice to something that's brand new.
This is not better nice. Better nice.
Guys, fingers are crossed for the tranny, the Bruce Gender. because-
Oh yeah, the tranny, the
Yeah.
Bud Light.
The rainbow can inside
Bud
this
Light.
thing. You guys probably remember the story, but what was that? What was the tranny and shafts? It was like $3,800 for the Yamaha.
It was a heap of shillings, as you said.
Yeah,
Shitload, really.
1 dozen yen.
I mean, like counter shaft, main shaft. I think we put it. Oh, we did the shift drum.
I think we saved the drum.
We changed out the shift
All
forks.
the forks, and then we had a brand new fork that was bent right out of
Yeah.
the package.
Rocky Mountain took that back.
Yeah.
That was nice of them. This should be dialed.
Yeah, we'll be replacing washers or not? Washer circlips
Yep.
after a little inspection.
Special.
When was the last time you had some really good head?
Well, Charles.
What?
I don't know. You operate a camera. Give me these goddamn things.
Get out of here, you son of a bitch!
You're just getting all antsy over
Hands
here.
off.
Well, I'll freaking bite you.
Yeah. Like, what is it? The honey badger?
Honey Badger don't give a shit. Well, I'm gonna bust these guys loose. Old power valve covers.
So, what do you think about? Do you like Torx versus standard stuff?
I like it better than Phillips screws.
What about versus a regular 8mm head, something rather M6? You have a preference there?
I think, you know, the Torx, I like a hex head.
Uh huh.
I think it has a clean look to it,
Yeah.
you know?
So you really don't care. It sounds like.
As long as you got the... Not right now I don't, Charles.
No.
You got me on a good day.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of,
F's to give.
not today. I'm like, you know what? It's got the Torx in it.
It's
You know,
all right.
I will say the 45s will eat up your... You know, don't go too crazy.
Yeah. Like, don't use an impact.
I use impact all the time.
Okay. Is that what chews them up?
Yeah. I usually try to break them free with a T-handle first,
Uh huh.
and then just run them out with the impact.
Yeah, I saw you did use a box end wrench on the head before you went to spinning them out with an impact.
Yeah.
So you didn't just like whack the bolts from the start.
Just go bananas, right?
How do you feel about putting really pretty zinc bolts in this KTM? Not just the engine, but the whole bike. Like, we'll get rid of all the powder gray
I think it
hardware in the engine, the chassis, everything.
I think that would look nice.
I agree.
These things, I mean, this engine's not that old.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have a lot of time on it, but over time, like underneath, you'll get case stain just from dirt, and then the bolts will start to rust. And
Yeah.
yeah, I vote yes.
Well, then you guys are in luck because Dave at Bolt Motorcycle Hardware, oh, I taped this, I'm not going to be able to get in one-handed, has come up with yet another BRC complete engine fastener kit for you guys.
You need
We're going to make it, oh yeah, but not with that.
Oh God. Hold still. Hold still.
Oh, yeah. That's all right, I've been through worse.
There you
Thank
go,
you.
buddy. You're welcome.
I still need help with that other thing.
Oh, wait a minute. We weren't talking about that. Wait, this?
Oh, yeah, that.
Look what we got here.
There it is.
Oh, hey, folks.
There it is. You even got a little, you can
Whoops.
hold it up.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That looks nasty.
So yeah, Dave's pumped that this is in his part of the video. He's got these beautiful dimple-headed, zinc-plated hardware we're going to throw into the engine throughout the new engine. We're going to eliminate any of that powder gray stuff throughout the chassis. We're going to have this look pretty much the whole bike. That's the vision, at least. Main pins, linkage pins, swing arm pins, bolts everywhere. So that's the plan. Thank you, Dave. So you guys now have the MC500 engine kit from Dave, and also this new KTM Husky gas version engine kit. So enjoy.
That's bitching.
Perfect. That's what we're doing. We're going to zinc plate everything. We'll do the studs in this engine too, since we got to bring the cylinder studs over to the new engine. It's going to be fancy, Uncle Tony.
It's going to look nice.
Nice.
Someone gets to win that thing.
Yeah, no kidding. Still blows my mind building these $35,000 machines and somebody takes them home. It doesn't work without you guys. We love you.
Somebody gets to win it. Yeah, we get to hang out, and Charles gets to talk about wieners because that's what he loves to talk about.
I've been pretty good so far, man.
Yeah, well, it's friggin' the day is young, bro.
Yeah, that's true. We just started.
Yeah.
Actually, what do you think what does that water pump look like? What's the shape of that thing look like?
Oh my God, it looks like a Toyota. What is it? A Toyota head gasket? Water pump gasket.
All right, we're warming
That
up.
definitely, I can totally see something here.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Not so much here or here, right here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's like an elephant trunk holding an apple.
So did you have to pull? I think it was so fixated on that water pump.
You were.
Shape that I don't even know if you pulled. Isn't there like a cotter pin?
This little guy
in
right
these?
here. There's
Okay,
also.
so you did pull it.
No.
These are. It's kind of a cool way to do an exhaust
Yeah,
valve, right? Rather
a
than
little
the bolt.
retaining clip.
Yeah.
And don't drop it down here if you're doing the top end in your bike.
Then suddenly it's not so cool.
Then you're like, F. Now I got to pull that cover. Unless you can miraculously get a little magnet down in there, which doesn't always
You're not that good.
work
Let's be
out.
honest.
Take that guy off, put him right there. So now our cylinder is ready to lift. We're gonna pop this head up first. Come here, you. It's just all rings. Okay. Oh, it's a good sign, Charles.
Good sign.
Good
No
sign.
mustard bolts.
That is. Oh no, this does not have a lot of time on it.
No, fresh, huh?
Fresh meat.
It is a 23, after all. A nice gal by the name of Samantha on this bike here locally.
Yeah, she does. I think didn't she ride OMC or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. We ended up connecting on Instagram just by way of the super small community and people seeing what we're doing. So Tony and I were talking about that logo and other things, places and regions of manufacture, let's just say. And we're not going to talk about it on here too much because I'm too small to handle a lawsuit with a big company. But you guys do your own research. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You guys know I did the SSR test out of pure interest, genuine, sincere, personal interest for that bike. And it's really cool. But anyways, I've heard some rumors, and we'll just leave it at that.
Because it's from China. Freaking A, man. This is America. You can say whatever the hell you want. I ripped one of my stupid gloves, Charles.
Yeah, again?
Yes.
How many look at how many gloves he broke just trying to put them on. What is that? What's the death toll here?
Challenger.
Dude, that's not so
Challenger.
bad.
Yeah, you are a challenge. I'm just going to lift it. I said I wasn't. But
Couldn't help it, huh?
I'm just digging in.
What's on the back of that thing?
Oh boy, what happened here?
Coating that came off?
Oh yeah.
Looks a little interesting. Seems pretty, the way it came off is a little ununiform, maybe?
It's hard to see. Really?
That was your last one, huh?
This is horse shit. He's right here. I'm done with you.
Do not buy. Yeah, see, this brand,
Yeah. Not happy.
Were those made by Kimco?
Charles, I'm struggling right now, bro.
That's right.
I'm struggling.
It's not you, it's the gloves.
It's the gloves.
You feel good about this? You look like you're about to go paint a house.
You don't judge me, all right? This is
judging.
backup. This is backup. Source these materials from the finest parts of China. China. Come on, man. I don't know what's up with this. It's got these funny spots in here.
What do you mean?
I don't even see it. I don't know, maybe just from
Look
sitting.
at the light. Let's see, what's going on in there? Can you...
It's speckled. It's like polka dots.
Like, is it like
you see what I'm
porosity
saying?
or something? Or?
No,
oh, yeah, you got
just little stains. I don't know what that is.
we
It's kind of funny. Just show the people.
Huh.
Other than that, the plating and everything looks okay.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, who knows how long it's sat at the dealer, right?
Rings are all good.
You seen the coating come off so splotchy like that before?
Yeah.
Or
Just kind of flaky.
Normal stuff?
Yeah.
How do you think, obviously the engine doesn't mind ingesting it, huh?
It's circle around and spit right out.
Made out of real tornadoes.
Real tornadoes and thunderstorms.
Bruce
right there.
movies and big dicks.
This right here is a Vortex engine. It's made out of...
Oh, this is either going really well for the viewers or it's just going progressively downhill since our last endeavors.
Probably both.
Yeah, it could be.
Like
We
these
lost
friggin'
half of them.
Jackasses again.
Feels good?
It feels good to me.
Toy.
It's coming out of there, so I don't give a crap.
Yep. Doesn't really matter now, does it? Hey, you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it, pal.
Man, I'm just trying to loosen this thing up.
Was it sticky?
Yeah, it's probably the worst part about this whole motor.
Oh, well,
Just
then
a
we're doing
little
all right.
sticky kicker.
The old sticky kicker.
The old sticky kicker. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna pull the flywheel off of here.
Well, these guys have a lock washer instead of a...
Oh yeah, these we
flat.
replace.
Yeah.
These will go on our parts list. So
Yeah.
that
This
is
is where
that.
the casualties lie.
Okay, just finding the old neutral here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never thought about using that flywheel puller on a sprocket.
Oh, the holder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, the holder. Excuse
It's got
Never
the
thought
small
about that.
pins. These ones are kind of hard to grab it with.
me. Yeah. Easier on a
But-
Jap model.
Yes. But the fat side, baby.
Yeah.
Old sprocket.
Well, see, I learned something new already.
And then we just get in here with our Impact-E and just give it the old 1-2.
That thing's covered in Loctite, eh?
Oh, yeah, this, I don't know what Hans uses at the factory, but he pisses me off sometimes. Because I think he's using epoxy, concrete, and Loctite all in one.
60% of the time.
It works every time.
Thank you.
It's got bits of real German in it, so you know it's good Loctite.
On the Loctite thing, have you heard of stuck nuts?
Uh-oh.
This is not going to be a dick joke either, by the way. It probably will turn into one.
I have my earphones on.
Yeah, you're set up for one. Yeah, have you heard of that stuff?
I think you were telling me about it the other day.
Oh, I already did? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Stuck Nuts, Sean, new company I'd never heard of. He reached out and wanted to be a part of this build, so I'm going to show you guys pretty soon something he sent our way. And we also have some Stuck Nuts giveaways, which probably sounds like something you wouldn't want right now.
Right up your alley.
But yeah, I'll hang on to them.
I will take
yeah. Sean makes a thread locker, and it's called Stuck Nuts, and he's got a couple different compounds, and unbeknownst to me, I still haven't personally verified it myself, but apparently, and even Lumberding at Huga hit me up, he said, screw Loctite. I said, what do you mean? And he's like, apparently they spend a good deal of money to shut down trails that are local to
That's lame.
Stuck Nuts, Sean, so if that's the case, I'm not sure, but at any rate, long-winded as I normally am, he started Stuck Nuts. Sort of sounds like maybe even in spite of the trail closures and the money spent on them by the unverified source. To me,
where is Sean located?
I think he's in Colorado. I forget. I have to double check. I could be butchering that just wholeheartedly. But anyways, he sent some product for you guys, and we're going to try some Stuck Nuts here in the future. Especially these KTMs are littered with thread locker, I feel like. Maybe a little more so than Jap bikes, but excited to try it. And Sean, if you're watching, Hope you don't mind dick jokes, and thanks for being a part of the team.
You did name your company Stuck Nuts.
You can't be too sensitive, I guess, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
This is cool.
How neat is that?
You know, I will say, Charles, on some of the older Kawasaki's, in specific, the RMZ KX500 collaboration that they did.
Years, 04 to 06.
Yeah, that hunk of shit that they made.
Yeah. Those are fast, right? But unreliable.
I don't know if you could say either. Yeah, unreliable, yes. Fast, I don't think.
Depends on who you
Yeah,
ask.
it depends. Yeah. But they used to Loctite the engine case bolts.
Really?
Yeah, and you go pull them out. He'd be like, "Sweet, I got that one out with the threads." That's amazing.
Yeah, it worked so well.
Yeah, it just pulled the whole engine
the
with
threads
it.
Didn't stay where they were supposed to.
No, not even close to.
What you got there, partner?
Oh, it's flywheel puller.
Yeah.
I'm going. Just give it the old.
Well, it looks like it's seen a few flywheels.
This one, yeah. We're just gonna try and get one more off here.
Yeah, why not? That's what I do.
Bada bing. Honey badger, don't give a shit.
Nice and clean?
Yeah, just some dust.
Full of crap. Yeah, it looks good, huh? It's a little guy.
She's a tiny
Seems a lot smaller than a Japanese version.
This flywheel's pretty beefy.
Yeah. That is pretty beefy. Let's see. Get a good shot of that bad boy. Beefy and spotless. Those are pinned on there, huh? This isn't. This is
like an external weight.
I'm pointing it right at the ground like an idiot. Yeah, it almost looks like an add-on flywheel weight.
Yeah, and they may do that. I know, like the older Yamahas. I don't know about on the Annihilator, but I think the ones after that, like 05 and up, I feel like they added weight.
Talking YZ?
Yeah, I feel like they added weight to those flywheels. Because that was one of the things I remember hearing. McGrath would run a weighted flywheel. Reed would run a weighted flywheel, like Supercross stuff.
Got it.
Which makes, a lot of sense, because just
for sure. That's kind of where a lot of this development comes from, right? We get feedback from pros, like first model year bike out on the Supercross track.
Yeah, they like the acceleration, but they don't like the lack of traction, right? So it's finding the middle ground that you can get down with. Yeah, that thing all looks mint, dude.
This is all pretty standard stuff. This thing, maybe.
What's that?
25 hours on this bike.
That's kind of my guess.
So there's no hour meter on it, huh?
No, the gas doesn't have a meter. Well, there was an add-on one, but God knows when it went on, right?
Yeah.
I want to say it said like 15 hours or something. So, looking at the tires and you seeing what you're seeing.
She's going to be nice.
You sure you're not doing a tattoo, partner? What's going
Charles,
on in there?
this one I'm about to chuck on the ground too, like those stupid gloves.
Ground.
So I know this is very difficult to see.
I'll try. Probably going to be too hard to see light-wise, but.
Well, I'm gonna get my little flashlight.
Oh, are you making just a dot?
Just
on,
trying to make an
on
indent,
one,
to
dot
where I
on
can.
the other.
Yep.
She got
You see that one right there? Sorta, kinda.
No, the reflection from the light is kind of
Right there?
tough on the camera. Oh yeah, okay, I think
And
so.
there.
Nice.
So those are our marks.
I know you guys get the point, but now you see the point.
Now you can see it. There's something gross on there.
What are you sniffing now?
I was just trying to figure out what kind of oil was in it.
Drain plug?
Yeah.
What does it smell like?
I don't know.
Doesn't smell like the YZ, does it?
No, not at all. That thing was. Oh. I think I threw up a little bit on that one actually. Kicker Madoo coming
Not
out.
as much Loctite on that bad boy. It's just another thing Tony does that's super thorough, I would say.
It's one of those things where I put them on before, and they're all off.
Yeah,
you go put it in the bike, and you're like, oh, this is dumb. I'll just do that next time. So it just became a habit.
Little impeller action.
These guys you got to be careful with because, when they have a lot of Loctite in there, they tend to get on the water pump shaft itself.
Is that plastic
Yep.
like normal, or is it almost looks like
It's plastic.
rubbery from here? But
It's plastic, and they break.
yeah, is that because the Loctite gets them kind of jammed in there?
Precisely.
Precisely. So don't use a pry bar behind it. That's what you're saying.
Sometimes it's best to just take the whole case half off, and then you can work the shaft through it.
Okay.
Just by tapping it. And now on the BRC, does it have the adjustable power valve?
That's a good question. I don't remember. No, it doesn't, because it's the diaphragm style.
Oh, duh, it's up top. So all this will be
so
eliminated.
all this linkage
So
is
it's
just
water pump. So all this I'll just leave. I'll leave it
Perfect.
together.
Yeah, we may need the impeller.
Yeah, we'll
But
try to
other
get that
than
off.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once we get this case, I was just going to take this apart.
Uh-huh.
But I'll leave it all together.
All right, you got all your bolts out. I was sending an email. I was a little sidetracked. My boys at Electron, but what's cracking
We
here?
are just taking the primary cover off here. We're going to deal with this water pump impeller
Got it.
once we get this thing apart.
Got a wiggler off a dowel or
There's a
something.
dowel pin hanging up.
The old dowel pin.
Elusive. Hey, where's my screwdriver? Let me
Which
just
one?
jam this shit in here. Don't
Oh.
do that.
Yeah, caught me off
I
guard
had
for a
you,
second.
didn't I?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like,
what's
wait,
up?
what's he doing? He doesn't do that. What not to do with Uncle Tony?
What not to do?
Anything subject to flying out of there on the primary?
Well, there's the spring for the power valve,
Uh-huh.
and then there's
See
this
if I can get behind
gasket.
there.
You gotta
Oh yeah, there's
massage.
a spring loose down there.
Yep. We're just gonna
And
take
then
our
you had
cover.
to pop that actuator rod out of that. Is that sealed up? That rubber boot on there?
Kinda. I mean, you can pull this guy out.
Okay,
But I
it's
don't
just
like.
like-
Sometimes they'll have a adhesive. I don't like to break the adhesive.
Dude, they make such a nice freaking clutch basket. Look at that thing.
She's solid steel, baby.
Yeah, the new 23YZ is steel like that, I heard.
And it's a
KTM
similar
copy.
design, actually, with
Oh,
one
okay.
big spring, I
Look at the
believe.
diaphragm clutch.
Yep.
Sick.
Adjustable. There's
Nice.
3 different adjustable. There's 3 steps.
You can adjust that?
Yep. For spring tension.
Dude, enlighten me. I don't know anything
So
about
number
that.
2 is where they set it normally.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh, I see the numbers.
yep. 1, 2, 3.
In stamped
So
in
there's
that steel ring.
there's a more aggressive step here,
Mhm.
which means this will bottom out on these studs further, which will compress your spring a little bit more.
Okay.
Which, in my mind,
That's what
the
you
way
do
I've had-
before you're getting ready to explain something.
Try to think here. I'm
How'd
gonna
that
say
taste?
this. Horrible, salty. So, number 2 is where they always come from.
Base
the
setting.
factory base setting. Number 3 is less aggressive.
Uh-huh.
Number 1 is more aggressive.
So is this aggressive, when you say aggressive, like how
Like
it grabs?
bite, right? So if you
Okay,
take a
so it'll
picture-
slip more?
Yeah, it'll slip more, or it'll be less aggressive at the lever.
Uh-huh.
Number 1 maybe a little bit more aggressive at the lever,
Okay.
which I don't know. I think that number 3 gives you a little bit more bite. Just kind of flying off the cuff here, Chuck.
Yeah, because you were just using your kids' bikes all the time.
Yeah, well, he's max on a 50, so it's a little different. But like the 85s and up now have this system.
Okay.
To where if you want more bite, or like say your clutch is starting to slip,
Uh-huh.
you can adjust your clutch here to preserve it a little bit longer.
Okay, like you get another moto out
Give
of
it a little
maybe?
bit more time before you have to replace it. Obviously, if it's purple and it's burnt, and
Yeah.
there's no saving it.
Too little, too late.
But this will help prolong that, or it's also rider preference. So number 3, and I'll show you when we get it all apart, will compress this spring less. Number 1 will compress this spring more.
Okay, got
In
it.
theory, putting more pressure on the pack
Got
itself,
it. Makes sense.
which in turn creates a firmer lever feel, like running heavier duty springs in
Okay.
a traditional spring style clutch.
Does that still have the same feel, even though the system's hydraulic and not like a cable clutch?
you may get a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but it's funny, the cable, like you'll talk to people, and like guys that have ridden for a long time or old pros, and some of them really prefer the cable
Sure.
over the hydraulic,
Yeah.
just because they have feel, they can control.
Less on off.
Yeah,
Like a
whereas-
switch, and
yeah.
more like you can feel the drag and whatnot.
Yep. And the hydraulic, it's self-adjusting, right? So as your clutch is starting to wear, it just disperses more fluid, which your level at the master cylinder will decrease,
Uh-huh.
just to take in that wear,
Got it.
or it will increase in this case, because as you lose fiber material, you're actually bringing the pressure plate
It's like brake
closer.
fluid, basically, right? In
Yeah.
a master
You gotta
cylinder.
tighten it up on a cable. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, Charles.
That's all right. No, you got your point across. You explained it really well.
Okay.
I think you kind of explained it really well twice. Most people will totally get that. I understood it, so I think other people will.
And
That's
I'll
cool.
take this off just so I can give you a better idea. And a
Yeah,
visual
I
as
didn't
well.
even know you could adjust them.
Yep,
Excited to
it's
see what
pretty
that's
neat.
all about.
I'm just going to grab one of my rags over here. This is part of your power valve assembly.
All right.
Don't need that anymore. It's a to fill.
Oh,
Left.
Oh, to fell.
To fell.
Yeah, got it.
upside down. Lots of skills here, guys.
Yeah,
Lots
for
of skills.
sure. So at this point, how deep you need to go to make show of the adjustment and show like what's actually creating the adjustment? Do you have to dig deeper into this thing, or can you tell by looking at that ring as far as explaining it?
I'll show you. I'm just going to tip this a little bit so I don't lose those bolts, but I'm going to lift this guy off of here. And there are, like, I know Hinson offers an aftermarket spring, which is a stiffer spring.
Which, if you guys have not seen a KTM style spring,
That's it, right there.
that's the spring. It's like a cupped washer. Is it called Belleville washer?
Belleville, yeah.
Versus like a 6 springs, like in a regular Jap clutch
Yep.
that would go.
So I have posts just like this, but they'll have springs and then clutch spring bolts. So right here you can see the ramps. See?
Okay.
And they're. Hold on, where's our numbers? And I can explain it a little
Yeah,
better.
so the stamp numbers.
So
on
here's
top.
our numbers right here. 1, 2, 3. So 1, you can see the ramp.
Oh, let me get a
See
little.
the steps. 2,
Yeah.
3.
So are they?
So this bottoms
okay,
out further.
It's thicker.
Yep.
Pushing the pack in a little more.
It'll compress that spring
Okay,
more.
thinner over there.
And then a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Yep. They always start with 2. So it can be a preference. The one thing that I try to always think, because I've had explained to me before, is with the Bellevue, what you can see how it's dished, right? This way. It's like a plate upside down,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So all your spring pressure is coming from the circumference of the spring.
Probably a lot more even than a.
Theoretically
6
speaking.
springs.
Yeah, you get one spring gets played out, that can happen. The same thing happens here. But what happens is when you compress this, you actually disperse the load either more or less, right? So when you compress it more, this is what you're pushing on right here.
Yeah, back of the
Right?
pressure
This
plate.
ring, just this outer ring right here. That's where it makes contact. So if you compress it more or less, that's where you get your clutch feedback and your feel. Now, 3, in my mind, is light, obviously. So when you look at these, just like we looked at, and if I'm rambling, tell me to shut up.
It's thinner, right?
here,
3's
it's
thinner,
thick.
so less pressure
so basically
applied.
like this. So you can see internally. I don't know if you can see here.
That is actually a really good way to explain it. Can you rotate it this way?
to get the light.
Yeah, the light
So
on.
there's the bolts.
So I can see sort of the ridge or the step.
2
That
comes
catches
down
on the side.
here, and 3
So it protrudes more or less.
more, about even, and then actually will compress the spring flatter.
Nice. Cool to see
So-
what's actually going on there.
Start modding things out. Like you want a strong clutch
Got it.
because that's how you keep all the
That's how
bite.
you do it.
And if transmission can also fail if you're running too much spring pressure. at
Why
your
is
clutch,
that?
Because you're actually not allowing it to slip like a set of whoops or something like that. I remember the KTM's a few years back.
Oh, I see.
They were running too stiff a clutch springs, so they were breaking like 3rd, 4th gear. Because
Got it.
every
It's-
time
it's
that wheel
jarring.
hit, it bit. It didn't just slip. It bit into the ground, and it actually transitioned all that load into the transmission.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, you have more
Yeah,
impact
more
basically
bite.
due to the lack of slip in the clutch.
Correct. So you
Got
want
it.
a little bit of slip.
Yeah, I never considered that either. That's because I don't ride hard enough mostly.
Well, yeah, well, I can't say anything about that, but I know from just working on these things over time, too much spring tension is not necessarily a good thing.
And most likely the manufacturer builds that into position 1, right? Where
Yeah,
it's
They
almost
know where
like
they want
mapping,
it.
right? They give you safe parameters to make alterations within.
correct, and that's why they want it into, because it's just enough bite that most people aren't even going to deal with it. A lot of times they don't even know it's there.
Well, that concludes the educational piece in this video. Back to the dick jokes.
Dick jokes.
What you got going on here?
Just don't want to forget about our little water pump.
Yeah, you got a couple
Oily.
blocks of wood
It's
underneath.
gross. Yeah, a couple blocks of wood. Just make a little space so I can pop it down. Just give it a tap.
This is how you get it out without breaking it.
Yeah, because I have broken them before.
Yeah. I bet you've broken at least one of everything in your career. At least once.
I was a dummy and was like, hey, let me try and get this out of here. Snap.
Yeah,
Son
I
of
can
a
get it out.
Son of a.
No problem. Stand back.
Watch this.
I wonder if
Hold
they
my
reuse
Bud
that
Light.
shaft. Yeah, hold
Oh, you Bud Light drinkers out there. that are now no longer Bud Light drinkers. I applaud you. So before we pull the clutch back, you got the camera on, Charles?
Yeah, you got a hot mic, partner.
Okay, hot mic. Gonna put this guy on here.
Yep, little zapper doodle.
And grab my special tool here. And you buzz it off while the clutch is in there still.
Is this so you can just lift it out as an assembly?
You can do that. Or it just makes it easier so you're not having to jam your tool in there to try to hold the clutch hub still and break it free at the same time.
Okay, so you're just able to grab onto something rather than use the holder.
Well, this is unique.
What you got?
So they'll use KTM, European motorcycles.
Yeah,
Hans and his Franz.
Hans and Franz.
Hans and Franz are all trying to pump you up.
Yeah.
So they use these serrated style washers
So like a lock?
as a locking device.
Fantastic.
So this guy just drives in the back of there.
Okay.
You know?
Is that something you'd replace like a standard split lock?
Yeah,
or?
I would probably change all this. We might be able to just flip this one and get one more use out of it.
Okay, but you'd want to get rid of the two washers.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. And while we have that there, we're going to address our full.
Gotcha.
That means-
Because everything is held basically by one another right now.
So right now, we're going to turn this up because that's what it's telling me to do. Oh, it says left. That's what it says.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
directions.
whoops. Yeah,
stuff like that.
Thanks, Hans. Thanks, stupid. So we're going to go right to loosen it. Not
Oh,
left.
is this a reverse
It's a
thread?
reverse thread.
Oh, I gotcha. That's why they put that on.
I hope it
there,
is. I'm
indicator.
going to try.
Yeah, well, hit it. You know, we don't need any of these parts.
That's loud. You good, Chuck?
Oh yeah. Oh man, what are we getting into?
Yeah. NASCAR, baby.
Big guns.
It's like I'm glad to work on. I'm sure you could attest to this, but happy to be working on dirt bikes and not using massive tools.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
You know, I don't know, 1-inch impact wrenches and all that stuff.
Yeah, like a heavy diesel mechanic type stuff.
Some of that stuff you've seen. I'm sure you've seen videos of like standing on a tire lever that's 4 feet long trying to change a John Deere wheel.
For sure, and there's 8
all of a sudden
dudes
it
hanging on.
flexes and he's stepping on it and it comes loose, hits him right in the nuts.
Yep, that's right. And you
Yeah.
end up with some stuck nuts.
Ooh, bada bing. That's a good one right there. There, look at that. Really, Hans?
Dang.
Really,
Felt
bro?
like crap in there.
Seems like 400 degrees.
It wasn't the impact, it was the heat from the impact that eventually got that to break.
Okay, now that we got that giant disaster of a primary nut
Yeah.
off of there.
You sure did. Showed it who's boss.
Yeah, it was like, what's up? Butthead.
So you did it in that order while everything was held
Yep. So then I
together,
can
so you
actually
can now easily
hold it.
pull other things out.
And then now I just check because these have rubber dampers.
Those
There.
posts.
These guys, I'll show you. There's some rubber
Oh, yeah.
dampers, and they always fatigue or they flatten out, so you'll get more clutch noise.
You get more like of a whack sort of a
Yeah.
thing out of the clutch.
It helps ease, like we talked about earlier, with the transmission load, and clutch, and broken parts. This helps that
Got it.
dampen the on the ground, off the ground, on the ground, off the ground impacts. So on these European bikes, they have dowel pins that hold the steel plates in place.
Okay.
So to pull the clutch out, you pull all your dowel pins, you put them over here, and then you just take the whole clutch out.
Yeah, so these guys use those dowels instead of fingers on the steels.
Yep. So the wear on these things is pretty slim, and the baskets are
That thing looks
solid steel.
Yeah, that thing
Years
looks
machined.
unscathed.
Yeah, I mean these things last a long time.
Yeah, that's a
then-
nice piece.
And then the hubs, they don't get all marred up, you know. Like the older style clutch, I guess you could say.
Right.
So
There she
the
goes.
clutches are super strong.
Look at that thing. It's all skeletonized.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like trick gun parts.
Super lightweight for what it is, right? Like being a solid steel part. But then this guy, the clutch doesn't even look that bad. just that inside middle plate. That's where you usually show most of your heat anyway.
Okay, that's you could see like a little burn ring on the outside.
Not bad at all. And then this guy, just for reference, you just pop these guys out.
Oh, are these the
rubbers, right?
Rubbers. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
For the 500, maybe get clutch rubbers.
Yeah,
Just
for
to
sure.
start fresh
Definitely
with.
will. Things like that. It's more of just a super common, super fast wear part, I
Yep.
guess you would say.
Yep, and they have them all over the place. One thing to note that on the European bikes, they start with a steel plate and they end with a steel plate.
Okay.
Always.
Is that unlike?
It's unlike Japanese. Japanese, they start with a fiber, end with a fiber. For the most part.
Never noticed.
It's, yeah, usually starts with the fiber. That's why you'll get that funny ring on a pressure plate.
Uh-huh.
Because your fiber is wearing directly against it.
I see.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Like this doesn't make any contact with any of the fiber. It's steel. And the fiber grabs the steel instead of the pressure plate itself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So all the clutch parts, they last a long time in these.
So this clutch is ahead of its time
Yep.
compared to Japanese versions.
Yep. And now the
in a lot of
Japanese
ways.
bikes are starting to
Everyone's finally copying.
coming over.
What you working on? What is
Just
that?
gonna try and crack this guy loose. Counterbalance
All right.
gear on the primary side. Whoa. Woo-hoo. So in time, I'm gonna just do this because Kickstarter will come out pretty easy.
Yep. There's the path of least resistance
Yep.
right there, boys and girls.
Ground.
Little circlip action.
Yeah.
So another
Disposable.
disposable on our very short list of things to replace. We got to throw the clutch rubbers on that whiteboard, but got your idler off. Watch out for those washers.
Washer.
Those sticky washers.
And then look on this back side.
Is that is that post threaded in there or
That
held in
one
by a
is,
bolt?
yeah.
Normally they're not, huh?
I wonder if we might have to pull that one out for.
To split
We'll
the
have
case.
to, yeah, once we do all the bearings and things, we'll do that.
Gotcha.
Because we'll have to heat that because it is almost like a press fit.
You don't want to use the heat yet.
Not yet. And this guy, we got one circlip that holds your counter shaft in from the right side.
Will that come out now? No. Stupid question. It's covered in gears.
That's okay. Not once we pull the case though.
Yeah.
Because if this clip was still on here.
Oh, you can't
so
pull the case.
The left side case, once we split the left side case, this transmission shaft would still be
It
held
will
in.
hold everything
So
together.
you just want to get it while you're on the right side.
Got it. What happened this last weekend? When the electrician came out of me?
Yeah,
Cameron's
at
broke the built
broke the
contest
built
we were judging?
contest, you were correcting all of us with motors, electric motor, not engine.
Yeah. And yet, nothing will change.
I always say motor.
Everybody does.
Motor. Get the motor done. Do the motor done.
Hey, wow, I actually know something.
You do know stuff.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
And stuffing
And
things.
then there it is.
What you got now?
I'm just going to relieve this spring chingus here so I can pull the shift shaft.
Yeah, the Springus.
Because this is what'll happen. This is part of your mechanism for your shift star.
Quite a bit different than a Jap model.
A lot different, actually. Quite unique. They're aluminum, so lighter weight. Now, actually, you had just noticed on the wall of shame over here.
You got a steel one
this
over there.
piece, this was like a I think we wrote it on the tag, 18.5. So it was a Rockstar edition.
Factory edition thing.
Before they came out with it, this is basically what the updated part looks like.
Oh,
in
okay.
that bike.
This is kind of like a quad ring seal
Yep.
and an air fork before it was a quad ring seal.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
So the pin broke off, so
Half
he
year.
couldn't shift.
Ah,
It was all that. The chingus.
the Chingus.
The
there it is.
chingus broke. So now these guys you have to relieve
Okay.
to push the shaft out.
Oh,
And these little fingers right here are what bite it up and down.
okay. As you
To
shift,
shift
those
it,
are
yep.
rolling the star or the pegs on that guy.
Correct the mundo.
Interesting. It actually seems really well thought out
Yeah.
compared to
Hans, I don't know if that's Franz or if that's Hans. I think
Yeah.
that's Franz.
So then this thing is basically lacking like the springs and the pawls and all that other
All the
crap
stuff that
in
falls
that
out.
Japanese star that
Yep.
shoots across the room. I
Yep.
like it.
Yeah, it's super.
So you think that'll be the next thing they copy, the Japanese bikes?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. It's simple,
Yeah.
and they wear. I mean, these do wear,
Yeah.
but not because it's aluminum, right? It's a softer material than the steel. Because those pawls are pretty much indestructible.
Right.
They take forever to get any sort of wear.
Got it. Makes sense.
But these will wear over time.
Yeah.
And your shifting will start to go.
Definitely less parts to let go if something does break,
Totally.
though.
Just change one of these guys out. Maybe throw a new spring on your pizza cutter.
Yeah.
To bring the tension back up. But these things naturally, a lot of times, are hard to find neutral anyway, which is a good thing because you don't want to have a false neutral.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like I get those pretty often with my Suzukis.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that the margarine
once I hit about
transmission?
40 hours on the transmission, I'm just, riding the bike more without thinking about it, where you're kind of going around the track more fluidly.
Yeah.
And I might not be shifting hard enough. Kind of, maybe I'm lazy shifting, but anyway.
Words.
Words.
I'm trying to think of the parts that we got to pull off of this for the BRC cases. I think we're gonna need that.
Right.
We're gonna need this, but we're gonna do that with bearings.
Okay.
This, obviously, we're gonna pull this because we're pulling the transmission out.
Right.
This stuff's got to come.
Don't need that stuff.
Don't need the bearing.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spare parts.
But before we do anything, we need to make our notes
Yeah.
on parts that we need.
So what do we have to add? We got
said
rubbers.
clutch rubbers.
And then some circlips for the counter
yeah,
shaft.
clutch, rubber.
And the idler.
Yeah, kick, idler. Bam! Unity!
Pizza cutter's gone wild.
There we go. Make sure all our pieces are there.
Do those, are those bearings, is that caged or is it
This is
solid?
one solid wheel.
Attaboy. Good
Well,
job, Hans.
It's riveted on there.
Yeah, it's just got a recess in one side. The reason I ask for
never had one
the people
apart.
watching is the Yamaha ones and the YZ250 like to
Explode.
explode, and when you get
Go
bearing
bang.
bits up in here,
We go bang.
it's not good. You
No
don't want
way.
it.
No way.
Come on out of there,
That's it.
you.
And they locate. One side's bigger, one side's smaller. So that's how it locates on the drum.
You
That
can't
drum's
screw it
aluminum.
up,
Nope.
basically.
I mean, you probably could.
I'd still find a way.
Yeah, you probably put it upside down and be like, why won't it seat all the way? Let me just hit this, puts a couple more jugs, and then that'll get it in there.
What did somebody say? The Ugga Duggas or something like that?
Ugga
I feel like that was in the last series.
Ugga Dugga. Yeah, right, because you listen.
So that drum, is
It's
that
aluminum.
drum, yeah, it looks like it's a different material than,
Yeah, she's aluminum. They're actually pretty cool.
is it like a CNC piece?
Yep. They're sick.
Looks like it.
Yep.
Well, what you got going on there? You got some
I'm just trying
puller
to,
contraption here.
trying to rig this so I
Yeah.
can get this old mega Loctite of the Hans gear off. There we
There it
go. It's coming. I think I picked this puller up at the old Napa down the road there, and
Yeah, she's doing the job.
it'll do.
Might be able to do a steering wheel and
I
an old
think,
Chevy
yeah,
afterwards.
old steering wheel puller. Some of the KTMs you have to have a puller to pull the primary gear. 4 strokes. Like the older, I think it was like 16.
Is it
It's been a
more
while.
like the flywheel type puller where it threads into it?
It can. It goes. There's some threads externally that you got to get the KTM puller, and it's silly, expensive.
That sounds like a bike specific tool.
Yes.
Don't you run out of threads?
Naturally.
Of course we did.
Sometimes you got to make lemonade.
Even if it's piss. Okay.
There we go. I got enough. I get my little Puerto Rican fingers back here.
What are they?
Oh, yes, Cuban bead.
Oh, you got
Ow!
it. Yeah, you almost took that key with you.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, there it is.
So that thing is a primary gear puller, a steering wheel puller, and a wind chime
Yes,
on
sir.
the weekends.
I haven't had one of these guys apart. I don't think in a long time. Not the newer version with the counterbalancer, to be totally honest with you.
What was the last 250SX you had?
God, I think it was like a 15.
Okay. Yeah, that was a whole
That was
engine
before
generation
the
ago.
before the counterbalancer.
Yeah, you got another circlip in there?
That actually I think holds a bearing in
That can stay for now.
that I can stay.
Out comes the shafty.
Okay, I got this keyway out.
Yeah,
Bam.
cool.
Pop that guy through. That's it.
Nothing to it.
So we're gonna keep this with all of our right side parts because there's a sequence that this all has to go back together.
Yeah. Let's see. Think they're gonna be nice?
I hope.
I got a KTM Reed horror story of my
These
own.
reeds suck.
So yeah, allegedly it's a voice and reed, right? On a stock cage. Is that?
It looks that way.
Those look perfect.
Those look good.
Really nice.
I think they've gotten better since I think it was what 16. when they made this change, and they were just,
Yeah, and the 17 had 16 pedals in it.
yes,
Exactly.
and they were just gobbling up reeds.
Oh my God, I'm sure a lot of people had the same problem.
The V4s.
Did you ever get a bike in where the entire pedal was just gone
No,
and
I
it
never
had gone
saw
through the
that.
engine?
No.
It's super cool. I highly recommend it.
Okay, we're gonna rip this bad boy apart.
Yeah, you're on the home stretch.
We're getting there.
Splitting the old cases.
The old. Well, it's got it. It's funny.
What's
It's
fun?
got part number stamped right here.
Different manufacturer this time. There, huh?
Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a few different brands
learn something.
coming together to
Build
make
the
you a 250 SX.
build the 250. All our bolts are out. There's none on the right side. I already checked.
Yeah. You are clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. I'm gonna grab a cup because you wanted to change all these, didn't you?
We have the bolt kit from Dave.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll have to zinc plate, subframe bolts, linkage bolts, things like that. Bigger things that we can't get.
Got it.
We don't have the luxury of Dave sending us zinced linkage bolts. So
Weird.
that'll probably be an episode.
I just grab the bolts.
You got your speed magnet.
on the magnet, and then I put them in my little tub over here.
Yeah, you got your
Little bolt cup.
It's like a freaking
So we
Maxima
wrote-
cap or something.
Yeah, just save my chemical caps. Throw them away when they get grimy, and then
Throw her in the old sling.
the little case splitter.
Just a couple of dirt bike dudes doing dirt bike things.
Dirt bikes. Never would have thought. 1986 KX80. That was a heap of shit.
Took you this far, huh?
Dude,
You're still going.
still going at it. I used to always rip out magazine articles
Uh huh.
and stick them to my wall.
Yeah, like the
My
Bud Light
mom.
ones.
That was the frogs, actually, bro.
Oh, okay. Back then.
Back then. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember. All the posters and the magazines, and right there in the middle. I guess that was later on, but.
Sometimes when they get tight like this, I like to just pick it up.
Yeah.
If I can get my freaking hands on it here. And then I just tap
Tap the lower.
that side
It actually
because
got. You had some motion.
it'll
yeah.
bind up a little.
Yeah, helped a lot.
Just to get it to free up a smidge.
All that Franz glue you got on
Franz and Hans, man, they had a heyday with this thing. There she goes. Okay. I'm here to glue you up.
there. Yeah. Oh,
There she goes. Oh boy.
nice.
There you. Ta-da!
Lift off.
Man. Okay, we're gonna wash her up here. That goes on our main shaft. We got our shift fork pin. Okay.
Oh yeah, look at that freaking drum. That's cool looking.
Nifty.
Yeah.
They're a little super light.
It's a pretty artsy looking piece.
Yeah. Everything looks pretty mint in here,
Yeah,
Charles.
look at that machining too. Looks cool. First KTM I've been inside of. I've been inside a lot of things, but never a KTM.
This is what I'm dealing with. Pull our transmission parts, set them on our tray.
Get ready for a little inspection time.
Yeah.
So these guys here, they're not like the YZ, right? Where you have to put it in as an assembly. You can put
Just
these
pops
parts
right
in
out.
one
Watch
by
this.
one.
I'm gonna show you how to do this right now. All you gotta do is hit this button.
Oh, boom, done deal.
That guy comes out. That is our. Sometimes they'll have an insignia like a stamping, like a left or a right. This one does not, so we just have to pay attention to our orientation.
I see. We've got the video to fall back on.
Yes.
Not that you need it.
So that one is a B, as is this one, a 19B. But you know what's going to happen? That's not going to want to come out because the drum is in here. So we take the pin out of this side. Okay. That will free up our drum. Pop our drum out.
Got it.
Got that guy.
She's a
there.
looker.
These things are sweet, man. I will say.
That is kind of a little work of art, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that makes me feel small, like the fact that all this stuff exists and then all the little pieces put together, you know, and you get an engine, and that's still only one little part of a dirt bike. If you guys remember the KTM or the Yamaha, the tranny goes in this killer little factory wrench
tool there
deal because you need to assemble the transmission 100% before you put it back into the cases. So kind of a pain in the butt, but
that tool makes a world of difference.
Yeah, you got cool people that make cool tools. There's a logo if you need to buy one. There's a 3D printed version and there's a metal version too, right?
Yeah, there's an aluminum one. Ready?
All right, let's see it.
So I'm going to pull the transmission out right now and push the counter shaft with my finger. Same with the main shaft, just to help them walk through it. There was that circlip on the counter shaft side we had to take out because that would not allow for this guy to come through if it was still there.
That was one of the first things on the other side we did, huh?
Yep. Along with like behind the clutch basket, the Kickstarter. But this transmission is money.
Pretty much.
It's new.
Fresh as can be, huh? You still got the little barcode on there even.
Yeah, that's the thing about European
being a wear
bikes.
spot anyways, but
That's on the right hand side where the basket rides right here.
okay, so
That's our
there's
basket
no
rides
contact.
on this. Actually, the basket does ride on this. But there's an oiling hole. In the Yamaha, we had a blocked oiling hole, I think.
Yeah, and then we had a
Heating up some
a
stuff.
torched, blued shaft end from
Yes.
mustard bolt silicone going in that
Stuff.
hole.
Like they had all the junkyard was in that one.
Dude, can you even see like an inkling of wear anywhere on there?
I see some gear chatter, but nothing. Just when they make contact, they mesh, you know?
Yeah.
But that's all.
I like it. You just saved yourself $4,000, Skipper.
Yeah, I mean, there's hardly any even indicator that there was a lot of contact on this. This is definitely less than 30 hours on this motor.
Awesome.
So here we are trying to get the crank out and wrestle this thing. You recording right now, Charles? Okay. Just gonna tap it. Thought I was gonna have to press it, but I just started moving it. I wanted to move, so.
Do those oftentimes need to be pressed out?
Sometimes. I mean, usually. Well, how am I going to phrase this? That's a caged roller bearing. Some engines need a little assistance getting out. Like
I've yet to encounter one
after
that
been
needed
running.
like a push, so to speak.
And then the left side bearing on these KTMs is always it's like a caged needle instead of a roller bearing.
Gotcha.
So the
you got
bearing
pins.
race is actually on the crank,
I see.
and that receives the bearing.
Yeah, so you got pins versus balls.
Yes, that one just enough of like an interference fit to hold it and not have up and down, like in and out play.
Gotcha. That's it.
That's it.
It's a done deal. So, final verdict on this thing, if you had to guess hours, I know we kind of already did that,
I
but
think less than 30.
less than 30.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That's my guess off tires alone, and your opinion is definitely more valuable
it
than
could
mine.
be even less than that if the tires themselves aren't laid out.
I think it had different tires on it, so I think the Maxxis were.
I think their production is Maxxis
really
on the
know.
gaskets.
I thought so at first, but at any rate, looking clean.
I mean, this is freaking immaculate.
Yeah, it's good news.
Immaculate.
So it's just new as used
Just some
gets.
wear on the piston from the coating, but that is pretty awesome.
So what's our next steps? What do you think?
Well, now we got to make sure we note all the parts we got to order, and
Go through all Riley's stuff.
I'll go through O'Reilly's stuff.
See what's here, what isn't.
Yep. And
Pull
then
some studs.
once you get everything back from FBC,
Then
then we build the motor.
we'll be slamming.
Engine.
Oh yeah, the
Motor.
engine.
Motor. Engine.
The electric engine. I mean motor.
This
Wait,
is definitely
what?
not electric.
No.
I will teabag it if it is. I swear to God.
Tony's tea bags. When you're done with EMF,
You will get a special
start
treat.
Tony's tea
A
bags.
special treat.
All right, man. It was fun. Everything looks good to you.
Yeah, everything's good, Chuck.
Pretty easy.
Easy peasy.
All right, professional opinion. You're not too burned out on any of these parts here.
Nope.
All right.
Just got to fight this old dowel pin. We'll
That
get it
guy
out.
there.
We'll get it out.
The struggle is real on that dowel pin.
We'll slam that thing in your new 500.
Yeah, boy. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks
Always
for coming.
good to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
You too.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, we will.
All right, my people, I hope you enjoyed the video, the complete MC250 teardown. As you can see, very nice to work with parts that aren't completely smoked. The old pocketbook can only take so many hits, you know? Don't forget to leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite part of the MC250 engine teardown was. 2 of you guys are gonna take home some WUSA products. If you guys wanna snag some of our MX parts giveaways, don't forget to hit mxrevival.com. Get yourselves entered to win this monster MC500 build, or the 10 grand cash. If you guys haven't entered, you can go ahead and smash this little link right here. You can also keep this MC500 party going by watching this video here. And until next time, guys, shred safe. I will see you very soon.